the last half of my mission was really hard. I'd been sick, and I got to the point where I was actually passing out in the streets on almost a daily basis, but I got so used to it that I could stand up and wipe myself off and keep going. And then as I was dealing with that, my mission president and his wife came to my house and said, "You might have to go home." And I was devastated by that, but they promised me that if I kept trying and focusing that things would get better. And I was able to stay and complete my mission, but a week later, my companion, who was my best friend in the world, got sent home because of headaches and different health problems she was having. And it just made me think a lot, and I wondered if I needed to do the same. And then my mission turned into a series of and-thens. At times I asked if it could ever get worse, and it did. I thought not having a companion was the hardest thing in the world, and then one day I was out proselyting and I passed out again, which was kind of normal for me at that point, but that time instead of landing on the concrete or in the dirt, I actually landed in a sewer and I destroyed my knee. I had so much infection. I remember that night the nurse came to my house and poured alcohol on it. I just remember biting this towel and just screaming and just wondering why I was still there. And I thought, okay, now it can't get any worse. And then I was transferred to a new place, and I had just barely gotten off of my crutches after about a month. And my first day there, I fell again, and just I was bleeding on all the other side of me. And then I got typhoid fever, and I had parasites. And then one day I stood up, and my fever was so high because of typhoid that when I stood up, I actually passed out and I hit my head on the side of my bed and got a concussion. And then when I went to go get my head checked for the concussion, they found out that I had this fungus that had grown on my head, and I had lost more than half my hair in the process. And so I just remember it's like I was bleeding on one side of my body. I was in a cast from like a wrap from my hip down to my ankle on the other side of my body. I had a concussion, I had typhoid fever, I had parasites, I had that fungus on my head, and then more things happened. Life kept happening, but I just had decided that I was never going to give up no matter what. And I learned that it helped me grow closer to Christ. And there were a lot of times when I was close to having to go home and I was dealing with a lot, but I knew that I was supposed to be there, and it gave me strength. And I'm so grateful for the trials that I had on my mission, and I'm still dealing with some of the health issues, but every day I'm grateful because they made me who I am today, and they helped me find the people that I found.